What's going on, everybody? I just want to make a quick video to comment on something that I saw recently that I think is going to affect restaurant owners here coming up very soon. Let me move myself out of the way here real quick and shrink myself down. You may have seen this that California court ruled that Uber and Lyft are going to have to classify their drivers as employees going forward. I'm not going to get into the political side of this, but this is going to have an effect on restaurant owners, I think, sooner rather than later, because Uber and Lyft are talking about pulling out of California over this, which means Uber Eats will be facing a similar thing. And I would expect this ruling to kind of roll downhill to the DoorDashes and GrubHubs and PostMates of the world as well. And they'll probably be facing a similar commitment that they're going to have to be making to their drivers to be classified as employees in California, and California being one of the biggest states and one of the biggest markets in the country. That's going to have a big effect on them. There's a lot of people on different sides of this, and I think it's an opportunity for another company to step in and innovate if Uber and Lyft aren't going to do it, if DoorDash and other companies aren't able to abide by this. But I would think that you're probably going to see other states step in and do something similar. And something to note, Uber, we think of it as a huge company that makes a ton of money, but it doesn't. They're losing tons of money over the quarter. They keep losing money repeatedly, and that's a big deal. But their CEO makes tons of money, which is part of the reason why the drivers are so fed up. They're not making the company's not making a lot of money. The drivers aren't making a lot of money, but the top executives do. So that's creating a lot of consternation over there. Well, what does this mean for restaurant owners? What does it mean for you and your business? A lot of restaurant owners aren't really big fans of these third-party companies and the fees that they charge to deliver their food to customers, but they're almost a necessary evil in the modern situation where you don't have the sit down and indoor customers. You're not having people come into the brick and mortar as much, and because of the restrictions that a lot of us are still under, you can't really do that. So curbside and delivery have really taken over, and the fees are paid to the third party companies are almost a necessary evil. But I think that's going to change. I think there's going to have to be a company that steps in and innovates in this space and offers, to classify their drivers as employees and balances that with the percentage that they take. Uber and Lyft and larger companies like DoorDash, they take this huge percentage, but they're not making a ton of money, which tells you there's something wrong with the model. So someone's going to have to step in there and do that. Well, what can you do in the meantime? Well, there's a lot of questions before you would ever want to do delivery for yourself, because that is a big risk to take in terms of insurance and taking care of your staff who are going to be doing those things. It's not the kind of thing where you just want a member of your staff to be doing deliveries who isn't insured for that sort of thing. You don't want to be sending people out to do that. But it's something that, pizza places and lots of restaurants have done for a long time. So it is a possibility, but it's something you have to think about. If these big changes were to come, if this hammer is to fall on more companies and those third-party deliveries change, well, that's something that I think you need to think about in order to replace that income. Something that we teach all of our restaurant clients to do is we want to move those third-party delivery customers over to in-house as quickly as possible, because that 20 to 30% that you're giving to the third-party company, you can claim for yourself simply by moving them over to your own online ordering platform. And the easiest way to do that is just with a simple QR code graphic that you put in the bag of every third-party delivery that comes into your restaurant. Just print them off, little bitty cards on regular paper. They don't have to be fancy. Offer 10 to 20% off their first online order if they use your online ordering platform. That way you can route people over to yours and keep them away from those third-party companies that charge you those high commissions. That's going to make an incredible addition to your bottom line just by that one change. You just need to break their habit. If you break their habit of going to DoorDash and GrubHub and move them over to you, it's immediately going to add to your bottom line. I think that's probably the way that we're going to be going as these changes sort of roll down from what we see in California. That's what I got. I'm going to do a more extensive video on this later today, but just want to make a quick one that I could share about this topic. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments or shoot us a message. We'd be happy to walk you through how we help our customers move their online orders away from third party to their own in-house solution.